Hello, welcome, good night to you if you're listening to this. And well, this is the second time. Well, first of all, today is August 13th, 13th, August 20, no, August, it's not 20, man, it's August 13th. It's now 7:12 p.m. I lost the chance to say that it was 7:11 p.m., but it's 7:12 p.m. now, and this is my second time recording this. Last night, I tried recording the first episode to this podcast, but unfortunately, because I didn't prepare well enough, I didn't test things well enough, I used a shitty recording app, and I lost the fucking file. 1 hour, probably the only hour that I could ever make, I lost it. So here I am now. So after losing the first episode of a podcast, you could see it as a sign. You shouldn't do it. By the way, the quality of the audio is going to be terrible because I arrived at the place that I'm recording this, which is not the middle of the street. I'm parked right now, but I'm not at home. So I got here and I noticed that I lost the phone to my microphone. So it has no filter. I hope the quality is not that bad. I tried recording this at .wav file, but like 20 seconds was already 17 megabytes. So I don't know how much 1 hour would be. I don't know if I have enough space in my cell phone to record it 1 hour. So anyway, after losing that file and after arriving here and noticing that I didn't bring the phone to the microphone, you might see it as a sign that I shouldn't do it, But you could also, me and my co-opinion also thought, maybe this is just life and the universe measuring my worth. They want to see how much I want this, how much I want to do this. So here I am now, despite all these shortcomings. I know it's a tragic life story, but after all of this, here I am now. See, life, I'm trying, so help me out, okay? So, but of course it could also be neither of those. It could be just my dumb ass not preparing enough. So last night, after I realized my fuck up, I decided to try a different app, and I just let it recording for like 40 minutes. The neighbor dog's barking. By the way, that's why I'm not at home right now. I drove 2 blocks away from home where it's relatively quiet. And yeah, I was really dumb, man. I always think that things are easier than they actually are. Or maybe I think that I'm smarter than I actually am, So for the past week, last week, exactly 1 week ago, my microphone got here. It arrived. And I thought to myself, fuck. Now I have to do it. I paid for it, so now I have to use it. But I was really anxious about it, I'm still am. I'm not N, I am anxious about it. And so I just kept delaying the inevitable. I didn't prepare well enough. I discovered that I can't monitor the audio while I'm recording because I'm using a wired microphone, and my earbuds, well, they are not earbuds, sorry, my earphones, they are Bluetooth. And for some reason, when both are connected, there's no audio output on my earphones. I don't know why I keep forgetting the word earphones. So yeah, I discovered that it was pretty bad, I mean, sorry, this is amateurish, man, but I'm trying, okay? Everybody starts somewhere, and here is where I start. 2 blocks away from home, at night, in my car without air conditioning. By the way, it's fucking hot here. My air conditioning, my AC in my car is really loud, and it does not even work, okay? It's an old car, but not like the good type of old, it's not a fucking, I don't know about cars, I don't know the brands, but it's, it's a poor man's car. So here I am tonight, inside of this stove, cooking myself alive, because I was too dumb to test beforehand if I knew how to even do this. So, and by the way, I really hope this time around this workout, because right now I'm mostly discouraged, I'm mostly feeling defeated, but I'm still feeling a little bit motivated, I'm still a little bit angry about what happened yesterday. So, but if this does not work out again, tomorrow I'll be 100% defeated, So, who am I? Should I start to introduce myself? Well, I would if I had anything to talk about myself, but there's nothing, really. In my 25 years of life, I have never done anything worth talking about. I didn't go to college because I never knew what the fuck I was supposed to do in college, Study something, yeah, but what? What should I spend 4 years studying for? I never knew exactly what I should be studying for. So, I don't have any family that ever did communication. I never tried doing communicating jobs. I always looked at people that can communicate well as gods, because, streamers, podcasters, does that even exist? Well, it does now. I always looked at them and I'm like, what the fuck? How are they doing this? Can I do this? I was like, no way I can do this. And I still can't do that. But I'm doing it right now. In a way, in my mind, I did this. In my mind, I'm like a famous podcaster, So, anyway, yeah. No background on me, really. I'm 25 years old, like I said. As you can hear right now, I'm not from the US, and I'm not in the US. But I hope you can understand what I'm saying, at least, I hope it does not bother you that much that I don't speak too well. And if anything, I hope this helps me get better at pronunciating things, So yeah, I'm raw dogging this right now, going without any cover, I could either get an STD, or I could make a beautiful child out of this. Will this be a one-night stand? I don't know. After yesterday, when I finished this yesterday, I was like, man, I didn't know what to talk about yesterday. And I was like, I don't have anything to say next week either. And, well, yesterday I used all my spunk, all my ammo. I do not know what to say today. I could try talking the same things that I did yesterday, but I don't know, man. So yeah, Might be a one night stand. If it's one night stand, then I'm definitely getting a STD. But hopefully it's something mild. If it's not, then who knows? Maybe nine months from now, I'll have a beautiful kid. So, I introduced myself. I hope you are interested in it. And this podcast, well, what is this podcast about? Well, I can tell you because I do not know. I just wanted to try doing what the people that I listen to do. And I know that it's kind of pretentious because, you don't watch basketball, you don't watch LeBron James and think, well, I want to do what that guy is doing because, your imitations. But, I didn't know what else to do. So I liked podcasts and I felt like I had to do something. So here I am now, trying to do this thing. And yeah, I do not have a voice for doing podcasts. I know, sorry, my voice is very boring. But I had to try it at least. Well, I do not have the voice, neither the pronunciation to do this. Why I'm doing this in English? I don't know, I like English. English is a really cool language. I think that it allows you to express yourself really well. It allows a lot of freedom, in the way you speak. I don't know, I just really like English. And honestly, before this, I never really talked in English to anyone. And I do talk a lot in English while I'm showering. While I'm taking a bath, I speak to myself in English. And I think that I speak much better in the shower than I'm speaking right now. I do not know, man. I do not know. I'm nervous right now, okay? This is my not first time, but second time, but kinda is my first time doing this, okay? But it's funny because I was very nervous yesterday. I even joked about how I started feeling like puking, which made things worse because I hate puking. So now I was nervous about doing this, and I was nervous about the possibility of having to puke. I hate puking. It makes me scared, okay? So anyway, I did this podcast yesterday, super nervous, but once I started recording, I was not that nervous, I don't know. Sometimes you go out of things to say and there's an awkward silence. But I was like, okay, just ride the wave, And after that, I got home. I noticed it was not recording. I noticed I had lost the file. And I was super angry about it for a second. I was like, okay, so I'm not actually doing this after all. But then I'm like, okay, no, I have to do it. I have to go there again tomorrow. Maybe I should have come here again yesterday because I felt very energetic. I had all that anger. It was energy in a way. So, maybe I should have come here yesterday, but I was like, nah, it's late. I needed to work tomorrow, this morning, sorry. I'm learning, okay. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing this today. Again, I'm going there tomorrow, even though right now I could be listening to the podcast that I love live. I was like, no, okay, I'm going there tomorrow, I'm doing this shit. Okay, I'm doing it. No, I'm doing it. And, since I was angry and feeling like, okay, I did it once, I can do it again, I was not really feeling anxious, and so I was like, okay, so I think it was just the first time I think I'm going there tomorrow and it will be alright. I won't feel the need to poop tomorrow. I won't get so nervous that I'm almost pooping on my pants. I'm not crapping my pants tomorrow. But I woke up today. I realized that at night I had to come here again to try to record this again. And I was like, ah, shit, here it comes. Instant poop. Instant, the best medicine to constipation is anxiety. Like, really, it was the whole day feeling sick to my stomach just before coming here. Again, feeling like puking. The dinner was ready, by the way. And I was like, no way, I'm eating right now. I'm going to puke this. I need to do this on an empty stomach. So, coming here, I hit the record button, and here I am. I'm not feeling that nervous right now. I'm feeling kinda, I don't know how to say. I feel kinda sorry for myself, seeing myself talking to myself alone in this car without having much to say. I don't know, I feel like kinda pathetic, I'm like, why am I even doing this? I really do not know why, okay? That's the thing, man. I mean, I like podcasts, and when that first idea came to my mind about doing one, it was like an unstoppable force. At the time I was ignoring it, but it came to a point that I just couldn't anymore. I was actually feeling super anxious. I would get home from work and I would feel my whole body burning because I knew I had to do something. And this whole year I've had this sensation of you have to do something this year, like anything. So it's kind of a gut feeling, not that it's a gut feeling that I'm going to become rich doing this, but it's a gut feeling that I need to do this to find out what I really like, So I like listening to podcasts. I like working out, listening to podcasts, playing games, man, it's so fun. Elden Ring, people talk about the soundtrack on Elden Ring. Man, I didn't hear a single song on that game. All I heard was podcasts, and it was super fun. So yeah, I like podcasts. Should I do one? Well, there's no shoulds or should not. You just do it if you want to, if you feel like you have to do it. So here I am experimenting. Never did this in my life, to be honest. I never experimented. Well, I did, but always without taking risks. Not that this is a risk. Worst thing that could happen is this microphone never being used again. But that's the thing, man, because this is not really a risk, but the amount of pressure that I felt to do this, it almost feels like my life's online right now, and that's kind of something that I worry about, because first time I went on a date with a girl, a girl. Why is English so hard, man? These words, they are really fucking hard. Anyway, first time I went on a date with a girl, I was like, okay, man. I was feeling pretty nervous, of course. I was anxious. But I was like, okay, man, it's okay. Just go there. Worst that could happen is like, you don't jive with each other and you don't get anything from it. You lose a bit of money, because you have to pay for dinner. But, nothing, you get home, you listen to your favorite podcast, you play some games, and you will forget about it. But it turned out that I didn't forget about it. It was a nice night, but I was a dumbass. I was really fucking stupid that night. I was not rude, by the way. I was just completely clueless. So I fucked it up, kinda. And, she became cold. And I was like, okay, didn't work out. So I'm going to do the things that I thought I would be able to do now. Well, I spent like a month, maybe a month and a half with that girl in my mind all the time, listening to romantic songs, fantasizing about meeting her randomly on the streets and like looking at each other, because I'm a fucking romantic man. Sorry, I really like romance. Okay, but that's for later. So coming back now. So no risks involved. You just paid for the microphone. So why shouldn't you do it? Well, I don't know. Maybe a year and a half from now, I'll be thinking about this thing. Yet, you never know where things can go, either good or bad. That night, I was like, okay, it's cool. I'll have the experience at least. But it brought me some amount of pain in that common month. But it's okay too, because that pain is not the end of the world. Nowadays I look back and it was a great experience, but it makes me a little bit sad still, because I wish I had that more. That's something that still bothers me about it. But it was a great experience, and in the big scheme of things, it was really, I think it was a positive outcome. So I hope that whatever happens after I record this podcast has a net positive outcome in the world. Not that, it's not like it will have any impact in the world, but in the world as I perceive it, because at the end of the day, that's all we have our own perception, In my mind, sometimes I have already reached my goals. I have a dream, that's all in my mind, but it's not, it's real somewhere, That's what I was listening to on a podcast just before I started recording this. So, yeah, this podcast. So I was talking about what this podcast is about and how I do not know what this podcast is about, right? So, the name, MMR Ramblings. I know it's edgy, it's cringe. Probably by now you have realized that I'm not a mad lad, I'm not a madman. I'm just an awkward guy that does not speak well, does not have any confidence, does not have any self-esteem. Yes, that's true. So why would I name this podcast MMR Ramblings? Well, it was the first thing that came to my mind. And since when it came to my mind, I never thought it would become a natural thing. I just rolled with it, and I never bothered thinking about it again. I never tried thinking about a different title. So I was like, okay, it does have cons. It's cringy, like I said, edgy, but it's not that bad, right? It is long too, MMR Ramblings podcast. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? But it's what my non-creative mind thought of. So I'm rolling with it. And that's how it is. If I somehow keep doing this for, weeks and months, I will probably regret it and think about a cooler and better name. But it won't change, for years to come. And yeah, that will probably be source of regret and guilt in my life if this does go on somehow, some way. I already do not have anything to talk about in this episode, so, do not expect much for the next one, but stick with me, okay? Who knows, maybe together we will build something beautiful, Maybe together we can do it. Stick with me. And if somehow, some way, I get better at this and I become famous, millions of views, the next Joe Rogan, even though this is completely different from an interview podcast, if I do become famous someday, even though that's not my goal, I'd like to become, I wouldn't like to become famous, I just would like to become rich, but okay. So if someday I reach that place where people are actually listening to this, you will have the brag rights to say, hey man, I listened to this guy when he had literally 0 viewers, okay? So stick with me. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to wear that badge, okay? So stick with me and let's build something beautiful together, okay? So, this year has been kind of crazy, man, like all around crazy. Somehow, I moved places for a much better house than I was before, and with a rent that I can't believe we pay that amount. The podcasts that I like to listen are better than ever before. I went on my first date. Yes, that first date that I just talked about, yes. I had it in my 25, when I'm 25 years old, and that was my first date, and my only one so far. I was actually not going to say that, because I'm ashamed of it, but that's the truth of it. Okay, so this year, moved places to a much better place. Podcasts that I love are fucking amazing. Went on my first date. It was a cool experience, Didn't turn out to be perfect. Not a love story, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm probably not ready for it anyway. I didn't really want that anyway. And after all that, things started getting a little rough. Not in the real world, but in the world inside my head. I started feeling anxious. Even I'm not a depressive person. I do not have no chronic anxiety. Never had a panic attack. I think mild panic attacks. But that everybody has them. But this year I have been, I was feeling really anxious somehow, and I started having this desperation inside of me, that I had to do something. I had to find a way. I had to do something with my life, man. I'm 25 years old. Maybe it's already too late. So, I started. This is kind of pathetic to admit, but I started looking for dropshipping tutorials on YouTube, Dropshipping in 2024. Yes, I looked for it. Before that, I studied programming for around 6 months. It was cool, but I was able to learn a lot of things, but I just couldn't do it anymore. Not because I couldn't solve the problems. It was just it got boring, okay? And I'm the type of guy who quits when things get boring. Not because it was not challenging. I just, I opened the text editor and I was like, oh my God, every fiber of my body was rejecting that. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't. No matter how much I tried. I would solve a problem like with my body literally hurting. Like it was hurting, man. So I tried programming in 2023 to 2024. I watched a few dropshipping tutorials on YouTube, but thankfully, maybe not thankfully, maybe I could be rich by now, but I didn't really go after it. And yeah, so I had this feeling, man, that like I need to do something. I want to do something that is worthwhile, I have to do something that will make me feel whole. And I know that's like running after the wind, because after the end of the day, when we achieve what we thought would make us happy, we are just not happy for some reason. But I don't know, man, I had to try it. I had to find something that I could spend my time in, and I think, God, thank you, I did that, because I was spending my time watching YouTube videos, playing games, and I am, I do not think that's a bad thing at all, There's a lot of things that people say that it's super bad for you. I do not think that's the end of the world, There's times and times. I think there's times where you need to spend hours and hours just scrolling and playing games and wasting time. But I didn't feel like that was the time to do it. I felt like I needed to find something to do with my life. And, spent a lot of months. Sorry, I really can't pronounce months. Months? Is that right? Anyway. So I spent a lot of time being anxious and worrying about the future, and thinking, God, I need to find something to do with my life, and I couldn't do it. And so, one day at work, I was just working normally, like usual, and I was listening to my own thoughts, because I have a lot of chaotic and unorganized thoughts. And like always, like a silly guy, I just laughed at them, I realized them, I laugh at them, and at that specific Friday, I was like, just as I was thinking about something silly, I was like, hey, that's kind of what the people that I like to listen to do, right? They just think the things that are kind of absurd or funny or interesting, and they say it. And I was like, maybe I should do it. But you know how we say things, right? Oh yeah, I'm going to do it, and we never do. And around 2 months ago, I really believed that. The opposite. I was like, I knew I was not going to do it, even though that idea was really cool, and all the dreams that could bring me. I dreamed up a lot about doing a podcast, actually. Not before that. After I had that thought, I started fantasizing about having a podcast. But my mind was like, nah, I'm never going to do it. That's not for me. I'm not good at communicating. No one is going to listen to that. There's nothing for me to say, like ever. I'm not interested. My voice sucks. But like I said before, things started getting not worse per se, but I was feeling more and more like, okay, I had to do something. And more and more, it was clear to me that I had to try doing this. So, last week, I was listening to a podcast. The guys were on fire, talking a lot about good stuff that I enjoy listening to. And, and then they started talking about this thing, you need to do what you feel like you have to do. Well, saying that, it's summarizing it too much, but, basically they were saying, just do it, don't think about it too much. And I know it sounds cliche, but, they went on and on about it, and I felt very moved by that. I felt really moved by that. I started really shaking, like I felt like I was having a panic attack listening to that conversation. And at the same night, I bought the microphone. Friday last Friday it arrived, and here I am now doing this. It's really fun how things are at the end of the day, how they unfold. Never in my life, like 2 months ago, I would never think that I would actually be doing this tonight. Not because it's something amazing to do. I just never thought I would create the courage to do that. I never thought I would muster something to talk about in the moment. But here I am now, and I didn't promise you it would be interesting or funny. I didn't promise you anything at all. I just asked you to listen to me for a little bit, Maybe you are cooking right now. Maybe you are playing a game. If you are already doing something in your life, what's the problem with giving a random guy in the internet 1 hour? Do it, Maybe, if you are already doing something, just listen to this. And I don't know, maybe this good deed of yours is going to generate good karma for you. Okay, my friend. So, yeah, Madman Ramblings. Here I am right now. I still do not know what I want to do with my life, by the way. I'm not sure this is what I want to do with my life. I thought it would be cool to try doing it. And it's fun. It really is fun. I still do not know, however, how to edit audio. And I hope that when I do edit the audio, some miracle happens and it does not sound like shit. Because, like I said, I lost the phone of the microphone. I hope it's at home. And I hope it does not suck completely. So yeah. It's really easy to forget about things that you wanted to say, man, when you are doing this. Like, it's tunnel vision, man. Tunnel vision is the best definition to this. Because during the week, there's a lot of things that you catch yourself thinking, You're like thinking about something random. And you're like, okay, I could maybe bring that topic up during the podcast. And sometimes even while I'm speaking right now, a thought comes out and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. I'll just finish the subject, and I'm going to talk about that idea. And when I finished the subject, I had already forgotten what I was going to say. Like, it's amazing how this happened, and it makes me admire the people that do it even more right now. Like, God, I'm so envy of people that can do it professionally. People that got so good at this, that they do it for a living. These guys are fucking crazy, man. So, anyways, so why start a podcast in 2024 if you don't even have anything to say? You do not have a niche. You are not smart. You didn't go to college. You do not know about the specifics of any topic. And you are doing a podcast in 2024. Are you really that pretentious that you thought you had anything of interest to anyone? Well, sorry, I'm not. Okay, I'm not that pretentious. But maybe. Are you like this so far? Are you? I'd be thankful to you if you are. We could be friends. You could listen to me when you are lonely at night. You listen, man. Now there's people like you out there that are struggling too. So maybe my misery will help you feel better. Maybe. I hope so. Or maybe will make you feel not alone in this world, if you are even listening to this. Maybe someday, sometime, someone will. I do not know how long this is going to have 0 viewers for. Maybe next week, when I decide to record the next episode, I'm going to log onto YouTube and I'll be like, holy shit, 0 viewers is still 0 viewers is still. I shouldn't do this really, but I do not think that. I hope not being listened to do not sway me away from what I feel like doing in this moment. Okay, so yes, a podcast in 2024. Sorry for coming back to this topic. I do not have anything else to say. But the thing is, there is a lot of podcasts nowadays, but most of them are interview podcasts or podcasts with more than one person, and a lot of them are also with video on. And I have to say, man, I'm kind of a big fan of the OG podcasters, no audio, no video, no interviewing. Sometimes it's cool, but just going on, pulling things out of thin air to talk about, it's just so amazing, man. And right now I'm like even more amazed by how they can do it. So it's like, if I had a podcast, like the dream podcast for me to have is a podcast where there's no need for image, there's no need for video, there's no need for an interview, just people listening to what I have to say at the moment and seeing where it goes. That would be my dream podcast to have. Thankfully, there's a lot of those around already, people that have been doing this for years and they really know what they are doing. They're really interesting and funny. So I have what to listen to. But I would like to achieve that place someday, There's, that's the answer maybe. What to do with my life, what I want to do. Well, I'm not sure of what I want to do, but I'm sure of where I want to be. It's an abstract place of fulfillment and being okay with what I have and being happy doing what I do. And there are things that, I can say that I want, I want money. I want to not have to wake up early in the morning. I want to eat tasty food. I want to be able to afford delivery when I feel like not cooking. I want to be able to afford a nice place to live. But there's something else in there, the most important thing maybe that I want, a place that I really can put into words. But maybe some way, somehow, this drives me to it, Maybe not because the podcast will blow up, but maybe doing this, I will realize something that I'm missing. Maybe in one of these ramblings, I'm going to find out what it is that I really want. I don't know, man. That kind of thing happens, Sometimes you are just in the right place at the right time, maybe with the right person. Maybe, I'm always amazed by these stories, I don't know if you believe in the supernatural, in the mystical things of life. I know that the world can be really cold, indifferent, cruel. I won't try saying that word because I can't say it. It can be a brutal place. But stories like that always move me, people that were at the, they worked hard to get to a place where things would converge towards them, They tried hard and life was like, okay, I got you, man. You did what you could have done so far. And now I got you. I got your back. And I know that does not always happen. But if I don't try anything, if I stay for my whole life doing what I'm already doing, the chances of that happening decreases significantly, I have to do something at least to expose myself to those chances, right? So that's what I'm doing here, trying to expose myself to all of those things. While I'm talking about this, I'm trying to keep my hands on a mudra position or whatever. I don't even know how to say it, but before coming here to record this, I was on Instagram. I don't use the Insta that much. I'm not that much into social media, I don't really, I'm different, I don't, okay. So, between pauses from the workout, I usually scroll down a bit and I came up to this post of an Indian guy. I'm not Indian, by the way. I do not know if I sound Indian or not. I do not know what my accent sounds like. I know it sounds terrible, sorry, but it's what I have to give you. This is what I can give to you right now. Maybe with time, if you support me, if you stick with me, maybe I'll get better, and I'll sound clear to you. Okay, so anyway, back to the topic at hand. So I was scrolling through Instagram, okay, and I saw this video of this guy talking about hand positions, and he was like, the way you put your hands together matter. So I'm trying to be conscious about this right now, and I don't know, man, maybe it works. Yesterday I was doing exactly the thing that he said you should not do. And today I'm trying to keep my hands the way he said it was good to. And you tell me, is it working? Is it not? I don't know. It's cool, it's a cool technique. Why am I talking like this? Why am I sorry. Man, I am really bad at communicating, yes, sorry. But one step at a time. Before yesterday, I did the artwork as if I didn't do art. I just did some scribbles. I stole a meme, actually. So I stole a meme to use as my image, my avatar profile image on YouTube, and the image that's going to stay in the video. So before yesterday I did that. Yesterday I recorded the first episode, which I fucked up because I was dumb and I didn't prepare well enough. Today I'm doing it again, hopefully speaking a little bit better than I was yesterday, because yesterday it was really fucking bad, man. I promise you didn't lose much. I hope so. I hope I didn't talk about anything crazy yesterday that would have blown your mind. And if I did, I hope I can repeat that sometime when it comes to me. So yesterday I learned a little bit, I felt frustrated, I felt anger, but I learned with it. And today I'm hopefully learning a little bit more about something that I still do not know what it is. And when I get home, I will try to edit the audio, and I hope I can learn more about it too. And I hope it's a good experience, That's what I'm hoping for. Let me see how long has it been. 49 minutes. Okay. For my second time doing this, I had more things to say, to talk about yesterday than I did today. It's not that bad, I think. Again, you tell me. I like doing this so far. I like doing this. Another thing that's better today than it was yesterday, I'm not hyperventilating as much as I did, It's fucking hard speaking and breathing at the same time. especially when you are nervous or anxious. It's fucking hard. And I'm actually sorry if you can hear my breathing loudly. Sorry for that. But yeah, it's hard. I hope I can do it better next time. And also there's the fact that I'm currently inside of my car, all windows closed. Okay, I'm fucking cooking right now inside of here. Windows closed, no AC. And yeah, I don't know, man, maybe this will turn my brain into mush and make me feel sick. I hope not. So, my breathing is not that bad, all things considered. I also trained, I worked out before coming here. So, not that bad, I think. So, what else is there to talk about? So many things in this world, man. So many things in this world to talk about. And when you need to talk about something, nothing comes up, I could talk about how warm it is inside this car. It's winter in the southern hemisphere right now, where I am. I'm somewhere around in the southern hemisphere, The details does not matter at this time, I'm just a random guy on YouTube. You do not need to know where I am. So it was supposed to be in winter. I think it didn't end yet. I'm not sure. But it was not supposed to be this hot. But this winter has been crazy, man. Okay, you have to give it to the climate change. What am I trying to say here? You have to give it to the guys that talk about climate changes, okay? Things are weird. They really are. This winter, man, it was cold. There were days that were really fucking cold. But when it was not cold, it felt like summer. Like 30 plus degrees Celsius. I do not know how to say it in Fahrenheit, American metrics. But it was fucking hot, man. Like, what's happening? And this week, like Monday, it was 10 degrees max, and today it's probably surpassed 30. Man, I really need to work out on my number pronunciation. 30. 3. The number that comes after 2 with a 0, with a 0 by its side, okay? That's the number that I'm trying to say. So, yeah, it's fucking hot right now. And it does not help that the windows are closed. And if I was not such a fucking idiot and didn't forget the phone to the microphone, maybe I could have opened it. Should I be doing this in English even? Like, holy shit, man, I can't talk. Maybe I should have, slid at least a little gap for some airflow, but I was a dumbass and I forgot the phone, so the quality of the audio is already bad enough. I hope it's not that bad. At least I hope I can salvage this with audio editing, but I also do not have any idea how to do that. I don't even think I know what good audio sounds like, I mean, I have heard good, high quality sound, but I do not know how to achieve that, and I'm not sure if I will, have the intelligence required to edit this. English is hard, man. I mean, it's not that hard actually. There's a lot of content in English in the internet, so learning it's not that bad. But when you are trying to speak it for the first time, you feel really, really nervous. Like just speaking in English already makes you nervous. Combine that with recording this again. I'm nervous about this actually working out. I'm super nervous that when I finish doing this, I'm going to lose the fucking file again. Please, God, please do not make me record this first episode a third time. Please. I hope this is good enough, So yeah, I already forgot what I was talking about once again. Yes, this is how hard doing this is. Audio recording, bad sound quality, hoping that I do not lose the file. I really can't recall what I was talking about. Oh yeah, English is hard. So all that combined, my pronunciation sucks right now, okay? For me at least, from my perspective, hearing myself, I can understand myself, of course. But I know that when I start listening to this, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I pronounced that way. Oh my God, man, I really hope you guys can understand something from this. If this does not work out, it's okay, kinda, but if I can't even learn how to speak proper English from this, then holy shit, man, what the fuck am I doing? Like, can't I do anything? I can't even learn. Like, I know the words. I know how to form phrases and sentences. Well, sentences, anyway. I know how to form them somewhat. I have friends in America, English-speaking friends, whom I talk to daily. And I can't fucking speak it. Like, what the fuck am I, a fish that can't say a word? So, I hope I have been clear enough for you to listen to this and understand my ideas. This has been the Madman Ramblings. This episode is coming to an end soon. If somehow you actually heard this, I deeply thank you, okay? Really, from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. I do not know when someone is going to hear this. I'm sorry, a lot of cars passed through by during this probably really noisy. My God. Will I have to record this a third time? Please save me. Please, audio software, save me from this. I do not think I can do 1 hour again, man. I'm already worried. That's another word that I have to work on because I'm worried a lot of times. So I'm kinda already worried that next week I won't have anything to say. And if I had to record this first episode a further time, I probably won't have anything to talk about once again. So, in case anyone listening to this and you want to talk to me somehow, some way, I will leave an email in the description. It will be the channel, the podcast email. If you want to send your message, feel free to send a message. I will read next episode, which I hope I'm here to do. I hope I drive 2 blocks away from home again to record a second episode. It's been fun. No, it's not that terrible. It's hard. It causes a lot of anxiety. Well, but once you hit the record button, it's not that bad. Not that it's easy. Again, it's fucking hard. Not that this has not been I hope this has been a good enough episode that I would listen to. So I hope you did. But, it's possible to do. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not the end of the world. Just the whole day before starting starting doing this, it feels like it though. It really does. It really makes me fucking anxious as fuck. And it makes me want to poop. And just before driving here to record, it makes me want to puke. Okay? So I appreciate it if you listen to this. The email will be on the description. And until next week, hopefully. Bye bye, have a good night, a good day, a good morning, a good evening, whenever you're listening to this. Ciao.